Welcome everybody to our Tech Talk. And so last week, what I was asked to prepare was an explanation of the different search engines, because there are plenty of search engines out there, but you might not actually understand how one search engine works compared to another. So when we typically look at, and I'm using an iPad as an example, so I'm just going to start my broadcast right here, do my settings. And so typically, if I happen to be in my settings and I'm looking for Safari, Safari is an example of what's known as a browser. So other browsers are Chrome, Firefox, those are some other examples. And what came up last week was the search engine. So if I tap on search engine, notice how I've got Google, Yahoo, Bing, Duckduckgo. So the question that kind of came up last time was, what are all these different platforms? What's the difference between one search engine and another search engine? So I'm going to start off with the search engine of Yahoo. So can anybody tell me what they currently know about Yahoo as I put Yahoo up here on the screen?
It's an older search engine.
Go ahead.
It's, oh, what happened?
This is Yahoo. I'm displaying Yahoo right now on the screen.
Okay.
So we can talk about Yahoo. So what do we know about Yahoo?
It's old search engine. It gives some people host email. Actually, most of people like 5, 7, 8 years ago had email from Yahoo, but now all technical people switch to Google, to Gmail, but I still have Yahoo. It's
Okay.
what I know about Yahoo.
Good. Does anybody else have any other ideas about Yahoo?
It has paid advertisements.
Paid advertisements.
Most search engines do, I think.
Yep, most search engines, that's how they get their money. Anyone else before I give a little bit of a history of Yahoo?
Has it had more glitches or something?
Kind of. Yeah, they've had some interesting situations with different CEOs.
I think their reputation not necessarily as good as the others. Or it's
They lost a lot of their reputation.
Oh dear.
That definitely happened. Good. Anything else before I explain about Yahoo?
And they were one of the early ones?
Yes, they were. So good. That's a good segment right there. So Yahoo began in 1994. It was created by Jeffrey Yang and David Filo. And it actually started as a listing of their favorite websites. And it was a database of just what websites they enjoyed. And besides each of the categories, there were what's known as URLs, which were direct links to those websites. And as a result, it ended up becoming a more interactive system. But you'll notice how now Yahoo has that same type of structure where the moment you join Yahoo, you go on Yahoo's website, it immediately starts giving you listings of all kinds of different news stories and categories, trying to get you engaged immediately. So as a result, if I were to tap on any of these pictures, it would then just bring you right into the Yahoo news story. Or there's also Yahoo Finance. There's a lot of elements that are part of the Yahoo brand. And then they have a very simple search engine. So I'm just going to use the word fish. I type the word fish, tap on search, and then it's going to show us the search engine. And you'll notice it has web, news, videos, shopping, etc. So it's got a lot of different elements that are involved as part of Yahoo. At the top of the screen, You're going to notice it says mail, news, finance, sports. Let me just point that out for you so you can see. There we go, right there on the top of the screen. So if I were to go ahead and to tap on, let's say, finance, it's going to bring me into Yahoo Finance. So I would just be searching news, symbols, companies about finance. So that goes back to the old structure of Yahoo, of being able to see all these different elements. So you see we've got the news right here, latest news. As soon as I tap on that, it's going to give us latest news that has to do with Yahoo Finance. So Yahoo is very much trying to get you to a topic and then serve you information based on that topic. So now we're going to move on to 1996 to Google. So with Google, what do we know about Google?
It's a powerful company.
It's a powerful company.
Has a lot of power.
Yes,
Nice.
a lot of power.
Very popular browser.
Very popular browser.
And popular email too.
Yep.
Popular email, which their popular email was released on April Fool's Day. So
Oh.
everybody thought that the email was a joke that Google was putting on, but didn't realize on April 2nd that their emails that they created with Google stayed. So Google is famous for their April Fool's Day announcements, which are always fake, with the exception of Gmail, which is real. So
Nobody interested what I say. It's created by Sergey Brin, who came from Moscow.
yes,
His father was mathematician in Soviet Union.
yes,
And
yes.
he created in town from I came, he created some fund for my university, for brilliant students, because he did his doctor in my university. It's his father, it's not Sergey.
Yeah, at Stanford University.
I don't know whether here in United States.
Well,
I know
that's where
that
he
they're
was a
from
graduate
Moscow.
student of Stanford University. Yep, and he worked with Larry Page, and they worked together on a search engine. And does anybody have a guess of what that search engine was called? It wasn't Google.
Yes, it's Gmail. No, I'm sorry.
It wasn't Gmail.
No, Gmail, it's...
So it was called Backrub.
Backrub?
Backrub. Backrub.
Ah,
Yep. So, yeah, can you imagine? You're searching for backrub instead of Google. Instead of Googling something, you're backrubbing something. That was the original name. So Backrub was a voting system that was created that was based upon what websites linked to other websites. So the more websites that someone happened to link to, the more votes that website received. So I'll use my website, for example. So let's say my Techie to the Rescue website happens to be featured on a lot of people's blogs and websites as a link. And I don't necessarily link back to their sites. I'm going to receive votes that my website is valuable. So as a result, these other websites are giving my website, Techie to the Rescue, a back rub. That's the idea of behind that back rub. So they kept that idea within Google. So no one knows the algorithm, but anytime I search something, so I'm going to try to search again the word fish and hit search, it's going to give us a listing, and the order of popularity of the listing of links that show up are based upon what other websites are linking to these websites. So more than likely, there's a lot of people linking to PetSmart and Petco and some of these other sites when it comes to fish. You'll notice Britannica, happens to have a link. So Google's always trying to provide you with the best information. That being said, when you search for certain words, you'll notice how immediately they assumed, well, you're looking for fish, you must be looking for a restaurant. So it then shows you information about maps having to do with restaurants, but you'll see that these restaurants all mention Massachusetts. Google is aware where I'm located. So they're making recommendations of here are fish shops that are near where you're currently located. And then some maybe a Wikipedia information about fish, National Geographic. Here's some pictures about fish. Here's what other people have asked about fish, like what are some names of fish? Is a fish a mammal? What defines a fish? 3 types of fish. So there's a lot of fish information that can be seen here as I scroll through all of these fish items. And then you'll notice, of course, we have our ad section where people are putting up ads for fish-related things that they want us to purchase, and then related searches. But you'll even notice at the bottom, you're going to see the words Boston, Massachusetts, New Hampshire. Now, how does it know that?
From your location?
No,
From
no,
my
they have
location.
but they have our URL, they have our IP, and they have too much information about us.
They have
become
too much information.
too much, and they become too powerful, and we become less secure from their knowledge.
Right. So as a result, anything you type up here at the top will be remembered by Google, and then they will give you results based upon your past searches. So if you find it really strange that you're looking up a stroller, and then all of a sudden as you go to other websites, you start seeing ads everywhere for a stroller,
Yep.
you'll know that Google has taken your search and told advertisers you are currently in the market for a stroller. And that's why you will then see ads for it.
So where is that information stored? On their server? I always assumed that was based on cookies.
It's stored on their server, but it also utilizes cookies.
Okay.
It's a combination because the cookies identifies you as an individual.
Oh, but not the interests that I show by what I searched on.
Right. So
Okay.
as you do different things on your computer and you go to different websites and are getting cookies and all these different parts, I mean, this is a very simplified explanation of it, but as we search for different for the word hat.
Uh-oh.
So here I'm searching for hat. And now it now knows hat. So now I've searched for hat and I've searched fish. So you'll notice that with fish, they immediately showed me where you could find maps of so where a restaurant can actually order fish. But with hats, they don't put that information until the bottom. Here's the map. So Google will change the way these information based on whatever word you type in on the top. That's why most people get confused with Google, because it's consistently changing when you type in a different keyword. There was a question?
I have
Yes, how legal is to give information about us to different business? Because business receive information for what we are looking.
How legal is it? I mean, basically, it is up to you if you want to use Google or not. That is your own decision. And to our next web search, which is Duckduckgo. Have any of you heard of Duckduckgo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heard of it.
Yeah.
I know nothing about it.
Heard
But
of
I've heard of it. No.
Have you used Duckduckgo?
Yes.
It's
Okay.
you have
So-
to
Yep, go ahead.
buy into it, don't you?
No buying necessary.
Oh, Okay.
So DuckDuckGo uses the website duck.com, duck.com. You could also type in duckduckgo.com, but duck.com is easier. I'll start that out, literally duck.com. That's the website. So it's
Excuse me,
4
but you are
letters.
starting
It's simpler than typing Google.
You are starting to break up. I wonder if we all turn off our video or something,
Okay.
if that would help.
Yep, let's turn off the video for a moment.
Or what about our,
Let's see, because they're starting to break up.
Yeah.
How do we,
Okay. I'm doing that right now.
oh, you're turning us off. Okay.
Yep. I'm
Heck.
turning off the video just for right now. See if that
Vanilla-
works.
oh,
Turn off
it
the
does.
video.
I was gonna
Okay.
say, she gets
Can you
special-
hear me better now?
So
Yeah.
far, yes.
Can you? Okay, good. So DuckDuckGo, as I was saying before, is duck.com.
Yeah.
When you go to DuckDuckGo, it does not know any of your history. It does not care about any of your history.
Oh,
So if I were to type in the word fish and hit search, you're going to notice that it goes to fish, but do you see any maps here saying, hey, here are restaurants that are nearby to you?
yeah. It's all information.
It's all information. So as a result, they're not selling your data.
Wow.
what
But-
year did they start?
Yep. So DuckDuckGo began in 2012. It's received almost 2 million searches per day. The number of searches per month is 45 million plus, and it doesn't track any of your search history. Now, the advantages of Google over DuckDuckGo is that Google gets you searches that are more relevant to what you're looking for. DuckDuckGo, you have to be more specific of what you're looking for. So if I want restaurants, I need to say fish restaurants near me. And you'll notice I said fish restaurants near me, but I have to enable locations to be able to really find fish restaurants near me. Because they're trying to find fish restaurants near me, but if I go and I click here on this restaurant, they recommended a restaurant in New Hampshire. I'm in Massachusetts. I'm not in New Hampshire. So that shows you how they're not utilizing the same platform as Google when it comes to making recommendations.
Do you have to enable each time, like each session that you're on, or does it retain the enablement?
So here, you see it says try enabling anonymous location. So if I click on show more, it says when you enable location, it's stored on your local device only.
Okay.
So that means each device has to have its own location enabled.
Okay. But on that device, then if I come back tomorrow, it will retain it.
Well, if I set manually, then yes, it will retain wherever I set.
Yeah. Okay.
So I can just like manually say, hey, I don't want you to know where I'm located, but I want a restaurant in a certain area. I would tap set manually.
Oh,
and
I
I'd
see.
literally have to move the pin where I want to move it.
Oh, okay.
It's very different than Google that says, oh, I know where you are, and they just give you the information.
Yeah.
Now, DuckDuckGo is also famous for providing information that may not necessarily be the most kid-friendly. So they have a safe search button. So if you care about adult content, you would tap on off. But if you want to have strict no adult content, you would choose strict. So there's a lot of settings and things that you can play with when it comes to DuckDuckGo. But the key thing to understand is that it was developed because Gabriel Weinberg, who made this, it popped in his head one day like duck, duck, goose, duck, duck, go. No real relation of why he called it Duckduckgo or Duck.com. But all he wanted was to create a platform in which case the preferences were going to be secure. So as you see, it says privacy simplified, and they receive all kinds of donations for the service. But they even have like, stay protected and informed with our privacy newsletter, protect your devices. So they're consistently working on different ideas for that. So the final search engine that I'm going to present to you is from Microsoft, and it is called Bing.
Oh
So-
my God. I
Yeah,
hate that one.
So tell me what you know about Bing.
Every time I put in a search in Safari, which is the default,
Default, yeah.
it automatically goes to Bing. I have
Right.
tried to get rid of Bing and I can't.
Well, once again, just as I was kind of mentioning before, if you go in settings, Safari, there should be a place where you see the search engine and you just change it from Bing to whatever search engine you want it to go to.
Bing. It doesn't even list it. I have searched and I've done it a couple of times. It's like hidden somewhere.
Yeah, it's hidden. Or you could always search Bing for Google and then just go straight to Google. The advantages of Bing, so Bing features a new picture every single day and has some of the elements of Yahoo in it, but it's not as in your face as Yahoo. So they have the image of the day and they have maybe some relevant history information. But what sets Bing apart from these other search engines is Bing pays you to use the search engine. So how does that work?
Yeah.
In the upper right-hand corner, there happens to be the words rewards. So if we clicked on rewards, whoops, let me get rid of that, okay. We could then get rewarded by Microsoft. So every time you search, you receive points. And then if you accumulate enough points, you can then cash that in for a gift card, or you can donate your points to an organization that could then use the money for something else. So there's all types of different things. Now with Bing, the moment I tap on it, it immediately tells me what other people are looking for. So here it's showing trending now. So let's say, for example, I'm going to use my fish again. And so as soon as I tap fish, it's going to say fish animal. I tap on search, and then it will bring me fish information. And you'll notice that it does the same thing as Google, where they know where I'm located. They immediately are recommending fish restaurants in Massachusetts. And then continuing on, some more fish information, some fish news, quotes having to do with fish, a definition of fish. So each search engine has its own tricks and things. So you'll see with that search of fish that we just did just now, we just received 5 points. There you go. You can see there's the 5 points right there. So if I accumulate enough points, I can then trade that in for a gift card. So those are some of the search engines that are out there. So I'm just going to thank everybody that's watching us right now on the replay video. We hope that this replay video worked, and we'll hope to see you on next Friday.